This film has to be one of the best filmmaking I've seen this year. That too in just 90 minutes. Let's talk. Hello guys, I'm Nona Prince and I saw the latest Tamil film Kottukkaali or The Adamant Girl, written and directed by P.S. Vinothraj, who's famous for his first film Pebbles or Kodangal, which was India's official entry to the Oscars few years back. Now I've not seen that film yet, but I'm very excited to watch it after watching this. This is a very typical indie film with those long takes, where each scene is given time to breathe, where one would say nothing is really happening. We are just dropped in a moment in the life of these characters, and by the end, we're just taken away, and we have to make sense of what we saw. But there is this quality to it. The film looks very cinematic instead of being very raw. And I love the minimalistic nature of the film. There are not many dialogues, there's no setup, there's no establishment. Everything is being said through the framing, through the composition of the characters, the meaning it holds, the subtext, all the themes it's exploring through that. And the plot is very simple. Basically, it's a road trip movie, and everything the film needs to say is said in that time, which is just 90 minutes. That's what I call the genius of storytelling. Now, to talk more about it, we have to go deep in the film, and for that, we have to get into spoilers. So if you haven't seen the film, it's streaming on Amazon Prime. If you have seen the film, then only continue watching. This is your warning. Now, through the road trip in the film, we explore oppression of both caste and gender. We see how women are treated, nothing short of an animal, as if they are slave to the entitlement of the men in the society. There is no place for their desires and their feelings. And if they don't let it go and become stubborn about it, that means someone has taken over them. They are under black magic. That's the arcade mentality these people are in, believing in this old and outdated beliefs, which are empowered by patriarchy. And the way the film portrays all of this is just brilliant. Anna Ben, who plays Meena, who's under control of this magic, is equated to the rooster in the film, which has to be sacrificed. And throughout, both of them are juxtaposed to each other, showing how their fate is the same. We see the rooster tied to a big rock so it cannot move away, and that rock represents these old beliefs, patriarchy, that has tied this girl down. And we see how her family, as well as the family of the guy who she was supposed to marry, are in unity about this, that she's under black magic, that she needs to be exorcised. Like, how can she fall in love with a lower caste boy? That's not even a possibility. It can only happen through black magic. Soori, who plays Pandi, is the entitled brat here, and everything is happening to please him. Why? There's no answer to it, but you can decode it. There's just one line drop that he went outside this small town to work, which means he has a better job in a big city. That means he has a higher status in society. Thus, whatever he says as a man holds above everything else, even over a human being. And he acts as if he owns everyone around. He carries this pride of his caste, but he has a conflict that he doesn't want to let her go. His male ego is hurt that how can she fall for someone else, that too from a lower caste than him. Meena is the reason for everything that's going wrong. Everyone around them is blaming her mother, her family. And listening to all of this, you may think that it's an old story. Long back ago, these things used to happen, and that's what this film is portraying. But that's the interesting thing, that this film never mentions the time period, but there are clues hidden. It's actually not olden days, but all of this is happening in the present, that we are in the modern time and nothing has changed. And we realize this in a very ironic moment, where a woman who has periods cannot go to worship, so she has to stay back. But she has a very modern smartphone which she can sit and talk to anyone. Watching everything in the film made me feel like, oh, these people come from a village, they have old thinking. But the film makes a point to show how the seer they are going to is also visited by people with big cars. So this mentality is beyond the class. Doesn't matter how modern we have become, we are still not willing to change. And as I said, we don't get any setup, no establishment, what's going on, where we are, who are these characters. We just tag along with them, and over time we learn things. What is going on, where we are going, why we are going. Then we have this major sequence in the film over the bridge, which comes at the middle point of the film, giving you context of what's really going on. Everything that was being built up suddenly explodes, and we get an outstanding sequence. The way it's shot, how it's kept so real, like no actor in this moment backed down. Everyone gave it 110%, and that's what makes this scene amazing. Meena just singing a song which everyone heard going through a place, and it just brings out the monster of Pandi. He just unleashes on her, and whoever comes in between, everyone gets thrashed. And that just exposes his insecurity, what this man really is, and giving us the context what is really happening. And Soori was just unbelievable in this film. I know he's known for his performances in comedy, and I have never witnessed them. I only saw him in Vinothraj, which is again very different for him. But here he was lost. I just saw this character. Anna Ben, like literally she has one dialogue throughout the film. It's just her face, the eyes, which are not even blinking. She souls us the character without even doing much, and that says a lot. And the whole cast, every actor, even the kid, even the rooster, they did their part. I remember when I saw the trailer for this film and how amazing the sound design was, the way it was edited on the beats, and that was a clue, because the sound design in this film is really good. It's actually spatial sound. So if you you wear headphones watching it on streaming, you will see sound move through you. If something with sound is passing from one side of the screen to the other, you will hear it passing through. And it's very well done throughout the film. It gives you a sense of immersion as if you are there with all these characters. There was this one shot which I really liked. The camera is on the auto, moving, and we see all these characters. All their faces are visible. Only Anna Ben's face is not fully visible, but we see the reflection of it in the rear view mirror. And you can make so much meaning out of this. That all these characters are whole, but she is not, and that's why we only see her fully through a mirror. Or maybe because she's suppressed, she's not able to express anything of herself, and she only gets the space of this small rear view mirror to exist. The auto can be a metaphor for the arcade system these people believe in. That it keeps stopping every time all the way, but they keep pushing it, trying to restart it. And there are so many moments throughout the film that you can decipher such meaning out of. My favorite scene has to be when a bull stops them, and they are scared of it. They don't have the courage to move it. But there comes a little petite girl who has tamed this beast and moves it out of their way. And that is such a significant imagery. It shows the power a woman can hold, even as small as her. It shows the capability she can have, but what we as society have reduced them to, a sacrificial animal. In the climax scene, the whole ritual the seer performs, it is so uncomfortable to watch. It is so embarrassing for that woman standing in public, facing all of this. She has become a display, a thing to be played with, just being ridiculed for having her own desires. And all of this in the name of freeing her from the spell. And all the people around witnessing this are not evil. That's the most easiest thing to do. But the film portrays them so normal that they feel that all of this is just okay. That is more disturbing. The last shot of the film, what happened to Pandi? We just fade to black. It's kind of an open ending. Now everyone can have their own thought what really happened there. Did a spirit come into him? Or maybe he couldn't handle what he saw? You can come to your own conclusion. A big shout out to everyone who were part of this film, especially the producer, Siva Karthikeyan, who backed such projects. See, the same story could have been told in another way also, where we get the whole backstory, what really happened, how they were supposed to get married, how she fell for this lover. We would have explored all of that, and what we actually saw in this film would be just 10 to 15 minutes of sequence, and then followed by something more, and that would have been a 2.5 hour film. But everything that film would have talked about, this film achieved within its running time, within this road trip, and that's what I call genius storytelling. And this film becomes a part of the list of small Tamil films which have been killing it this year. You can know my thoughts on the other ones here. Now I will be watching Pebbles, and if you want a review for that, it's been a long time, but if you do, let me know in the comments below and your thoughts about this film, and I will see you next time.